Deborah, welcome to Speaker Spotlight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
It's so nice to have you on board, see your lovely smiley face, and behind you, you are part of Neurobox. Can you tell me a little about your work in the world of neurodiversity and dyslexia and raising that awareness?
Sure, absolutely. Yes, I work for Neurobox, which is a wonderful company to work for. I'm the head of research and consultancy. So part of my role is to develop our research agenda and work with external research partners. And I also work with our corporate clients with their neurodiversity and disability strategy, and supporting them to be more inclusive in their workplace. I've been working in this field and researching for, I think, since 2009. I started off doing a piece of research, which led on to a PhD, looking specifically at dyslexia in the context of the creative performing arts. And I went on to kind of use my background in more kind of corporate settings and work for occupational health companies, on the BBC workplace adjustment contract, and in government departments. And I've been with Neurobox now for 2 years, which has been, great fun. And yeah, I'm dyslexic myself, so I bring my lived experience together with the work and research I've been doing in this field. So yeah.
And do you think that lived experience has almost drove you on the path that you're on today, Deborah, to make that difference to make sure companies and workplaces are making those changes for people who are neurodiverse?
I think so. That's definitely the reason why I kind of started on this path, and that was my motivation for starting my PhD and that journey. And as I've kind of gone along the journey and met, lots of different people through my work as a workplace needs assessor and strategy coach, you realize that actually so many of your experiences are kind of echoed in other people's, and it's really important to to see how we can make things better, really, because you don't want sort of other people or the next generation to be kind of coming into a workplace and feeling that, oh, this isn't right for me, or there's something wrong with me, or all of those feelings. So that's why, it's really important to keep, to be in this space, really.
I'm nodding as you say in this because when you're talking about your lived experience, and sadly for a lot of people who are neurodiverse, with dyslexic, they all have that similar experience. Maybe in the workplace, in education, socially, they're felt misunderstood. Sometimes even feeling judged, or I hate this word, but they feel a bit like a hindrance as well. Like they're constantly having to explain themselves, and that just shows that understanding is so needed. And that's why the work that you do at Neurobox and the work that so many of the speakers of the show, it's about promoting that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think working in the field, you often think, oh, everybody knows this. This is obvious. And then it's only when you talk to people that you're like, no, it's not obvious. Like, it's like when you're kind of in that bubble of Dyslexia Show or Neurobox or whatever it is, and you're so sort of in it. It's so important to talk to people that actually are still starting off on that journey, because it helps us to kind of keep our feet on the ground and remember that actually, the awareness still isn't there, and that's not anyone's fault. It's not saying, it's not kind of, line manager bashing or anything. It's really, really, it's quite a complex area. It's really hard to be a line manager. It's really hard to be in HR, and people are complex, and it's sort of a grey area. And so there's still a lot of work to do, and a lot of people that need support, and line managers that need support, and HR. So yeah, there's a lot of different dimensions and a lot of ways that we work with people.
Absolutely. And I love the way you described it as a journey. And I think that's one of the misconceptions as well about neurodiversity, that people who are neurodiverse, we expect people to know the answers, they should be supportive, but actually, we just want people to listen, and we don't expect people to know the answers. We don't expect people to know exactly what to do all of the time, but we just want to be heard and listened to. And that's all you can ask for offline managers and management sometimes, actually listen to what the person said
Mm.
and help find those strategies to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, as you said, just being heard is often something that individual has never had maybe in their life, or they've been kind of talked over, you know, at school or, you know, wherever. So just hearing, I think, is a really good way to start, and also just having no assumptions about what that kind of label or experience means, because it will be different from one person to the next. And also, in the same way that that individual wants the line manager to listen and not make assumptions, I think it sort of works both ways. Often a line manager might say to that individual, what do you need? Because of course we should be putting that individual at the heart of the experience, and they do know themselves better than anyone else. But sometimes we don't know what we need because we don't know. It's just because we're that person. We might have an idea that an adjustment or some coaching or some support might help, but we don't always know 100%. And so it's really important, I think, not to kind of put the emphasis 100% on that individual, that they can come up with all the answers and they can kind of solve the problem if it is a problem, but that it's a kind of two-way thing. And also often you need someone else to come in and support them, which is when we come in.
100%. And it's a case of, it is a journey, and it's exploring that together, because, and again, it's that thing with dyslexia or any neurodiverse condition, we're all completely unique, we're all completely different, and we all operate in different ways. So what might work for one person who's dyslexic might not work for the other. So trying different color overlays, trying different software, trying different code mechanisms, and actually really checking in as well, like, and saying, how's this going? Create that safe space, that, you know, you can be honest and say, this isn't working, we can try something else. And there's always, it's emphasizing there's always a solution, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Yeah.
And we're so excited to have you at the Dyslexia Show. And I feel like especially people in HR, line managers, and even colleagues who, you know, may be neurotypical, because that's one thing about the show. It's not exclusive to people who are neurodiverse. We want everyone to come and learn more, because it is such a safe space, and you'll really benefit from attending.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that really struck me, this is the third year that we've been at the show, so is that somebody said, it was one of our speakers who, it was her first time speaking, and she said after she did her talk, she said, oh, I feel like I can be myself here. And that's so important. You know, she said, you know, I've been to, you know, many events and conferences before where I feel like I've had to kind of put my if you like, my kind of face on, you know, my outside world face. And she said, and I don't feel that here. And that's what's really nice, is that you kind of feel like you can just, you know, be yourself, and, you know, you're not kind of performing, you're not trying to be something you're not, because we're all talking about something that's really quite obviously personal, but also we want to kind of bring those insights into the workplace. So we've all got to be authentic. But yeah, I think it's a lovely kind of community, with all the people that are talking, and also the people that attend, and, you know, people that come again and again. And yeah, it's a really lovely space just to be.
You know, that's really powerful, hearing that story, and just the fact that you can feel like you can unmask and be authentic,
Mm,
your true self. And
mhm,
I think as well, sometimes when you go, the beautiful thing about the Dyslexia Show is, and now the Dyscalculia Show is, you go in there thinking you're the only person with these problems, you're the only
mm.
person with these challenges, but you meet so many like-minded people at that show. It's just amazing, and it fills your cup up.
Definitely. You don't feel that you're in the minority, as in you're all there because it's the Dyslexia Dyscalculia Show. And, you know, that is, in that bubble of the Dyslexia Show, at the NEC, that is the norm, you know, as it is, well, as it should be, as it is. But yeah, so it's a really special event to go to.
Dr. Deborah, it's just been amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for taking time out your busy day to speak to me. Where can people find you and find out more about Neurobox?
Oh yeah, sure. So I'm on LinkedIn, just Deborah, Deborah. My surname Leveroy, Leveroy. Neurobox, our website is Neurobox. That's Neurobox. I've managed to spell it right, yes. .co.uk. But yeah, please put that into Google and you'll find us. And we'll be at the Dyslexia Show. We'll have a very large stand, which is lovely and purple. You can't miss us. We'll be sort of near the workplace seminar rooms.